Thank you for your interest in SAP Ariba's Start Sourcing, the quickest and most impactful tool for establishing sourcing projects, finding and qualifying suppliers, and negotiating best value deals. This video tutorial will show you how easy it is to do a sourcing event in SAP Ariba's Start Sourcing. Let's get started. This will be a high-level review of the process to create a sourcing project. I do recommend going to the Help Center, and there you will be able to find all the training materials that we have available. Let me show you. Here on the Help Center, you can search for one particular document, which is called Event Management Guide on the search bar, or you can browse through directly on the Learning Center. On this document, you will find much further details that describes the process that I'll be walking you through on this video. Let's go ahead now and create our sourcing project. Let's go here on the left-hand side on the Common Actions. We will click on Sourcing Project. And this is where we will enter the high-level information about our event. You can give it a name and a description. I'll leave that blank for now. You can copy it from a previous event. You need to choose the event type. In this case, I'll choose RFP. Eventually, I could also use auctions if I want to have dynamic bidding from suppliers, if this is going to be a test project or not. Please note that on any field, you can click here on this information icon, and it will give you much more information on what this, the description of the field. You can go ahead and choose the base language, baseline spend, for example. This will be used for reporting purposes. And I'll go ahead and also choose a commodity for this. Commodity codes are all from the UNSPSC. And I'll go ahead and create this. What happens here is it creates our project shell and then develops the event build wizard that we'll walk you through. On this screen, we set the rules associated to this event, when it's going to start, when it's going to end, and what you're going to see. So in this case, I will put the response dates start date for the 20th of April, and I'll put the time at 10 a.m. I'm going to have this run for a full week, so 7 days. The bidding rules. Do I want to allow scoring on participant responses? I'm going to say no. So this means I will add judges to your event and that they can grade the responses. Further down on marketing feedback, I'll choose yes. But if you, in your case, you want to have sealed bids where the owner can only see the bids once the event closes, in that case, you would choose no. I can click next, and that takes me to the team view. I will not make any changes here, but you can look at the event management guide and you will see more details on what you can configure on this page. Next. The third step is where we add suppliers. If you click on the Invite Participants button, you will go to the Invite Participant screens, where you can add suppliers to the event. The first thing that happens when you go into this step is you're prompted to create a supplier research posting, also called an Ariba Discovery post. Ariba Discovery is an additional solution that we have that allows buyers to discover additional suppliers. We currently have our over 4 million suppliers in Discovery. And by entering the information here, you can match with those suppliers and add them to your events. Let's take advantage of discovery and let's create a discovery post to find some new suppliers. As you can see, the posting title defaults to the name of your event. You can choose to add a product or service category that will be used to match with the suppliers on discovery. A location, so we'll say in the United States, and for backpacks. You need to choose an opportunity amount. This can be a range or a direct number, and provide a response deadline. So in our case, we will request it for the 24th. So we can start our event on the 27th, sorry. Then on the description, you would add a description. For example, we are seeking backpacks for a promotional event. In your case, of course, you would provide much more details for suppliers to respond to. And we will go and publish this on Ariba Discovery. So next, we can go and proceed. But before I continue with this step, I'll go to the previous to add some of my suppliers that I have on my own database. So you can see the Ariba Discovery posting is already there, and I will go and invite some of my suppliers. Here I will search suppliers based on the search criteria. So I can in here in the search criteria you can put and or logical connectors to search for the supplier. So here I find 3 suppliers that meet this criteria on their name. I will select all 3 and add them to my invitation. I could also invite new suppliers, and that will create a registration for them, and they will be added to your supplier database. I will now proceed to the next step, which is the content. This is where we actually build out the core information of this particular event. Here I can add sections, requirements, questions, and the line items that we will ask for suppliers to bid on. First thing I'm going to do is add a requirement on this section. A requirement is where you're telling the supplier some information. So for example, please view all the details and all questions via the message board. So I add this. Next thing I will do is ask a question. So I will include a question. For example, how long have you been in business? There's several detailed information here that you can configure. I'll let you review all of the details on the event configuration guide. But in this case, one thing we will do is we will have this as a text answer type, and we will provide a list of choices. And down here, you can include the options you want the supplier to choose. So for example, less than 3 years, 3 to 6 years, 7 to 9 years, more than 10 years. So I am done with this, and you see this is added here as a question, and the responses are to be selected from a list. Finally, what I will do is now is add the line items. So I will include a line item under pricing. For example, black nylon backpack. So I describe the item, and I will give it a ceiling price. So it cannot be above this amount, and I can also provide a historic price for reporting and comparison purposes. Also need to provide the quantity I need. In this case, I will be requiring 1,000 items for this, and am done with this. What I can also do is I can copy items. So let's say I will copy this and paste it down here. And then I will go on and edit this new item. So in this case, I will call this black leather backpack. So I know this is more expensive, so I'll put this as $35, and my historic price is 34. And in this case, I'll be requesting 2,000 items. And I add this to my content. This is a very basic event, obviously, and you can definitely add more detailed information. You can add sections. You can even drag and drop content into the different sections, move it up or down. But this is how you can configure a very basic event. When I go into the summary section, this is where I review everything I've done. So my rules, my team members, my suppliers, and the content I've created. Once I'm okay with everything I've included, I can go ahead and publish, and this will send this out to the suppliers for their review. You receive a confirmation that the event has been effectively published, and you have two options here. You can go and monitor immediately this event, or you can go and return to the dashboard, which I will do in this case. One last thing I'd like to show you is an event that I created before, and it's similar to the event that we just created, but want to point out this tab called Discovery Suppliers. That's available when you're reviewing or monitoring the event. When I click on this, I see the Ariba discovery post I created during the invite supplier step. I can see general information on how many suppliers were notified, if there was questions, and if supplier responded. In this case, I can actually see that there's 2 suppliers that responded to the post. I can go click in there to their response. I can send a response back to their message. Review more detailed information about their profile. And I can, if I decide, I can import this supplier to the event or to my supplier base. Thank you for listening to our video tutorial today. And please remember to check our other demonstrations videos, including navigating in SAP Ariba Start Sourcing and monitoring a sourcing event in SAP Ariba Start Sourcing. Thank you and have a great day.